Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in one and all back to the Indiana Esports Network, powered here by LANFest. My name is Kaizo. I've got alongside me Mr. Logan Summit. We're going to be bringing you guys some Rocket League here. I believe we are in week number 9 at this point, Summit, and we're going to be kicking things off between Tippecanoe Valley and Brebeuf. I want to make sure that we're getting that right. We got the phonetic pronunciation, but got to make sure we're landing that one. Brebeuf Rocket League, who are off to a phenomenal start to the season.
And this is match 33, and I'll tell you this, Brebeuf has been brought to the 11, really. They've got 8 wins, 0 losses. And you know what? If you look at the talent on the team, there's only 3 players on the team and a coach. So they picked their squad, they're sticking to it, and it has worked out exponentially for them. Currently 8-0. So Tippecanoe, as though I love the name of your school and your valley, Tippecanoe Valley, I want to visit it. Sounds like a great place to spend the summer. But look, they've got their work cut out for them. Currently 5-3. So will they be able to take the momentum away from the Bros and be able to get it down to the Buffs? Well, we're going to find out today.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. We love Tippecanoe Valley, and we also love Zotac here on this stream, and we want to give a big shout out to Zotac for to Zotac Gaming for powering today's stream. Because thanks to their incredible support, it's because of them that we can bring this broadcast to you guys and helping to showcase all of the amazing talent in the Scholastic esports scene. So make sure that you show your appreciation to Zotac if you like the content, if you like the Rocket League, if you like getting to watch these schools. And give them a shout out on social media. Join them on Discord. You can use the hashtag #PoweredByZotac or hashtag ZotacUSA when you make a post. I believe they've also got their own Twitch channel as well. I think that's TTV Zotac USA. If you got some time, pop on over there, give them a shout, and tell them that we sent you. But for the time being, Summit, we have got so much Rocket League to cover, and you mentioned the 5-3 start that Tippecanoe Valley are off to. A bit of a middling performance, floating just above that 500 mark. This is really where the canoe needs to start tipping in the correct direction if they want to really stabilize for the rest of the season and make their way toward the playoffs.
Well, here's the deal. We already know what this game is all about. This game is all about teamwork, making the dream work. Not one person will be able to take it on their shoulders and carry them through to the finish line. That's not the way that Rocket League works. Look, one player can make a difference in the match and the outcome here and there, but it is going to take true teamwork from all of these players to make sure that they make it up that summit and get to the other side so that they can be victorious while the rest of the teams use their tears to, salt their fiery Cheetos while they ask their mom, where did it all go wrong? Yeah, somebody's going to be a winner, somebody's going to be a loser, but it will take a lot of work from Tippecanoe to get by Brebeuf because they have their stuff together. Looking great at 8-0. They've got their team. There's no need for substitutions when you've got a squad that cannot be defeated.
Yeah, when you're operating at 100%, no need to make any substitutions. Why fix what isn't broken, Summit? That has been the motto for Brebeuf so far. That's what gotten them to 8-0 up until this point. And it's going to be on Tippecanoe Valley to start to make some answers to some of these questions that we need to be posing them. Like, how are you going to make an adaptation from what you did in the previous couple of weeks going in against an undefeated team like Brebeuf? Do you have a different strategy? Do you need to do something differently? Or are you just working your way through what you've already practiced and making sure that all those repetitions starting to measure up to something a little bit more respectable? And you mentioned already, they've got a lot more players on the team for Tippecanoe Valley. So they've got the puzzle pieces, Summit. They just need to find the right configuration because, as you said, teamwork is going to be key in this one, and having the correct configuration will be paramount up against this all-star roster from Brebeuf. I mean, 3 people just racing it down and getting every single victory every single week. That's some impressive stuff, and they're going to have some seriously compelling answers if they want to be taking the victory this week.
Yeah, you know, what Tippecanoe really needs to focus on is the mental aspect. They need to put the players that are most ready to be in there and go after a team that is undefeated, that has the momentum of the league behind them right now. Because as you pointed out earlier, at 5-3, they need to win this game if they're hoping to make it to the other side, right? This is a not necessarily a do or die, but this is a big task for them. If they can show up and show out and show the rest of the league that they can defeat the undefeated squad, they're right back in it. And they are going to get a little bit of that fear from the rest of the teams looking in today, right?
Yeah, this is going to be I'm going to use as many of these puns as I can really fit into the broadcast, but this is going to be a tipping point for Tippecanoe Valley. They're going to have to prove that this is their moment to seize the day and begin to gesticulate their way towards some of these later stages of the bracket where they've got a lot more stuff going on. We're already going to get kicked off. We're already going to get going with the score for Brebeuf. Blink and you will miss it, Summit. 3 seconds on that one as Jahan kicks us off, gets things opened up, and already scoring a goal for Brebeuf.
Just making it look easy. 3 seconds, he was like, dude, that was 2 seconds too long. Let's go carpe diem. Because right now, they've got the momentum. Brebeuf is in there. It is going to take something from Tippecanoe to not get onto this tipping point and tip in the wrong direction. Sorry, I'm right there with you. You made me do it.
And he's got the carry here in the corner. Possession goes in the direction of Brebeuf. Nobody in the goal, though. That could have been a very precarious situation if Tippecanoe Valley had somebody there to finish that one off. They're going to use the boost, go for the carry straight into the goal as Jahan once again scoring. It's only been a minute or two, but 2 goals already. Very impressive stuff from Brebeuf.
And that's a back-to-back victory. Bro, putting it in the back of the net, making it look easy. You're going to have to stop Jahan. We haven't seen much from Quack or Reaper, baby, but they're putting themselves in a great position. And that is a hat trick, kids. Hang your hat on that.
Just straight off the kickoff, immediately going in. Look at the angle he gets going into this one, straight into that left upright. Nobody there to play defense. Nobody capable of stopping this monster that is Jahan. We talked about this being the all-star roster. I mean, it should come as no surprise to anybody that this is a 8-0 team going into week number 9. And Tippecanoe Valley, they've got quite the mountain to climb if they want to make their way back in this one. A lot of game time left, but they will need to start getting the possession. It's been Brebeuf almost the entire time that have had this possession.
Well, they really have had control of this. As far as Tippecanoe is concerned, they haven't been able to make a difference quite yet. But it is up to them to make that difference. They've got to keep their head in the game, pull themselves up by the Rocket League bootstraps, and make sure they put that pedal to the metal.
They're going to go for one more touch here on the left-hand side, and who else but Jahan for Brebeuf gets a beautiful pass there. And Cavender is right there. Thought that they were going to be the one receiving that pass, but Jahan boosts their way right into the middle of things and gets a beautiful touch straight into the goal. And already taking this ball, I mean, I feel like every single time we've seen a kickoff, it's gone immediately to Jahan and immediately to the boys on Brebeuf.
Yeah, Kaizo, I gotta say, it looks like their game plan is flawless from the start. They are actually executing their game plan very well, and at this point, Tippecanoe Valley just doesn't have an answer. Here we go one more time. Oh, it's a charm, baby. But now we're spreading it around. Reaper, baby, 13 has scored.
Spreading it around, sharing the love a little bit here for Brebeuf, getting a couple different touches and a couple of different teammates. Now it's only going to be Quack that is left to get a goal in this one for Brebeuf if they want to spread that wealth all the way around the team. 5-0 here in just a minute and a half of play. It's going to be an excellent start to Brebeuf and a real statement as to why they are 8-0 in this one. XD Scooter are gonna have to find a way in, and hang on a second. Reaper, baby, says, I'm not done with just one. Give me that ball one more time. Let me catch up to Jahan just as well.
And now he's got themselves a back-to-back victory as well. Ka-chow! It's in the back of the net. And really, Tippecanoe Valley does not have an answer, as we are now 6-0, as the Europeans might say.
And the question is, if you're on Tippecanoe Valley, what do you do to really hamstring the momentum here from Brebeuf? Because every time we've got open space, it seems like they have got full control. They nearly lost it there.
But did you see that defense, though? Guys, oh, they were right in to sweep that ball out and regain control and possession. Look, everything that Brebeuf is doing right now is working for them. What Tippecanoe Valley is going to have to do is get a goal or two in here before time gets out, and to give themselves a little bit of that momentum, a little bit of, a little bit of shoulder strength, if you will, to know that it's not over. They've got this. They can come back from this, because it's not over until I start singing. I haven't warmed up my pipes yet.
Okay, we'll give you plenty of time for that. At least 2 more minutes if you'd like it, as Brebeuf continues to get underway here. The ball has been on the Tippecanoe Valley side of the map for most of this this 7th possession. It seems almost weird to say that out loud, but that's
right.
What it's been so far. As Brebeuf already 6, call it 7, just as soon as I can get it out of my mouth. Already going for another goal. In Tippecanoe Valley, you've got to be planning for the next round at this point.
Yes.
Because you are just not likely to be scoring 8 more goals, Summit, before time expires in 2 minutes.
Now, Reaper Baby getting their hat trick. We've got IHSEN and Reaper Baby with a hat trick. IHSEN actually has 4 goals right now, really holding it down. Let's see if we can get Quack in the mix. A little quack quack, says Affleck. Not a sponsor, but should be. Get on in here. Brebeuf is in complete control.
And the Duck himself is going to try to get something started here. Gets a good grab there. Pretty far forward. He's going to be playing up against that goal. It's going to be Reaper on the backhand, but who else but IHSEN to be the one getting that good touch in? And we've seen the long-range shots from IHSEN. We've seen a little bit of these kickoff goals, and now just the delicate little touch right off the back of one of the Tippecanoe Valley cars. That's going to be score number 8 for Brebeuf here.
Yeah, I mean, they are making it look easy. We're going to need a timeout. I know there's going to be some time in between the matches for Tippecanoe Valley to get there. There we go, a little boom, shalak, lock, boom. All right now, and look at that, just walking it in. That is control right there. IHSEN with some skywalking control. Look at this. He did a kick flip, and he flips it into the back of the net.
Gets the nollie in there as well. Just about anything you would like. Rides on the ceiling on the way out. They have looked phenomenal here in this one. Hat tricks on top of hat tricks for IHSEN and the competitors on Brebeuf. It's only 1 minute left in this one. And that could be, like you said, all the time that Tippecanoe Valley will use to be able to make some adjustments and have something different going for them in game number 2. Because here, game number 1, it is all Brebeuf all the time.
Yeah, it really is. Tippecanoe's going to have to take a moment as IHSEN is just wrapping up. You know what? Let's go double figures, he says, and they made it happen. Look, Tippecanoe, it's going to be time for them to get together as a team and show that they have the stick-to-itiveness to get back in this game, because 10-0, you know what, it's a lot, but you got to do something different. Game number 2 is what you're looking for. We've only got a minute left. There is no coming back from this. It is over for the first match, but it doesn't mean it's over for the day. You have to show yourselves and your team and your school and everybody watching at home that you can get yourself back in it. This is the mental state of esports that we don't talk enough about.
Mentioned Tippecanoe Valley, a team coming into this week 5-3, so they have had success throughout this one. But we've also seen this from them a little bit as well, where they've struggled to really find their footing in these matches, especially against some of these more dominant teams like Brebeuf. And IHSEN looks just about as good as anyone else. Look at the finesse. Look at the beauty on that carry. I mean, you want to talk about being an artist of the sport. IHSEN looks like they're just grabbing the ball with 2 hands and putting it in there.
Guys, although I gotta say, I didn't hear him call backboard, okay? If he's gonna do it, he's gotta call backboard, all right?
Or at least call it off the back rail or something. They've called successfully 12 of these goals in our game number 1. that has been unanswered so far by Tippecanoe Valley, who they've gotten a couple of demos off, but hasn't amounted to anything that they can really do a whole lot with, as Jahan just putting a little bit more creme de la creme on the top of that one.
Yeah,
They'll carry that one into the goal as well. Nobody can play defense, Summer. Nobody.
No, that is creme de la fresh and so clean right there. Lucky number 13 right now for the bros over at Brebeuf, getting it done. Tippecanoe has not had an answer quite yet, but that's okay. They'll get it back together. I have faith in them. But look, 8-0. They knew coming into this would not be a walk in the park. This was going to be a hard-fought battle, and maybe even a dog walk. Look, 8-0 is not too shabby, but 5-3, they've been in it to win it plenty of times before, so they know what it takes. They just got to get themselves back up on the pedestal.
We've seen a lot of demos from Tippecanoe Valley,
yes,
as I was trying to mention earlier, as Jahan just continued to score the goals. Force of nature is right. That's going to be 10 goals to their credit throughout that one. But Tippecanoe Valley, man, you can take a look at the scoreboard here. 4 times they managed to make it to Quack, once on Reaper Baby. They've had the numbers advantage, Summit, but what do they need to do to really convert on those opportunities?
Well, all right, they're going to need to control. They're going to need to grab some control. It has been all the Brebeufs getting it done with the control factor. I do love the 4 saves from them. It shows that they haven't given up. It shows that they're in it. They were able to get some demos, but you know what? It's all about the time of possession and ball handling skill that Brebeuf has been able to accomplish. Between Jahan, Reaper Baby, and Quack, they've been able to have that ball in their possession, I would say 90% of the time.
Right.
Ant and XD and Cavender, they're going to have to take some time out. Just slow the breathing down. Make sure you're talking to your teammate, like actually talking to them and listening to each other so that you can get back in this, because it is not over yet. It's not over until you fall in the water. And Tippecanoe still has another match or two, but I want to see him get back in this. I really do.
Well, they do have plenty of game left to do so. Reminder for those of us in the audience, this is going to be a best of 5 for us. So despite the fact that Brebeuf did take away that first round, that doesn't mean that Tippecanoe can't find their way back into this one. And there have been some flashes of brilliance from them. I mean, you want to talk about how aggressive Brebeuf have been. Tippecanoe have actually made some very successful plays on defense. I mean, Ant had 3 saves throughout that one, which should be a lot, but when you're up against the 14 shots that Jahan put on goal, it just feels like 3 isn't going to be enough for you. You wanted to talk about some time of possession, some control. They seem to have a little bit more of it here already as we get underway in game number 2.
Well, that's probably what they talked about. They're like, first and foremost, we've got to control the ball. We've got to stay with what we've been able to do thus far. They have made some great plays on defense, so continue to do that. It's got to be a little bit difficult because Jahan just keeps throwing it. We got another demo down. Boom goes the dynamite, and Quack with a goal.
And Quack was in the sidelines waiting on the wings for far too long. A beautiful catch there on the side, and then carries that one in, threading the needle between the defenders. Even getting some help from XD there to get that one into the goal as Brebeuf kick us off here. A little bit slower than game number 1, but taking the lead nonetheless.
Yeah, and you know what? I was really looking for Tippecanoe to take the momentum away from them and score that first goal. It hasn't happened, but the time of possession has been better. Their defensive quandary, well, they've been pretty good at it, but there you go.
There we go.
That's a great defensive play. Let's keep that up, Tippecanoe. I'm love to see it.
You love to see that they're beginning to find their way back into this one. It feels like it was an almost insurmountable object. I don't even know if I said that right, but you know what I'm going for, and you know what Jahan's going for. That's going to be that goal one more time. Finally, somebody throws a wrench in the plans, manages to prevent that long-range carry. Begins to push the ball back in the opposite direction, but now off that left corner, carrying it back across the goal. 2 members of Tippecanoe Valley trying to play defense.
Look at that steal.
You got 2 in the goal, and one of them's going to grab it, finally pushing things back the other way.
Yes, finally Tippecanoe battling back out of their own end and able to make their way down the the arena, if you will. But here's the deal. It's going to take everything. They got another great defensive stop there. They've got to get it out of their zone, though. They need to push it back on Brebeuf and let them deal with a little bit of this heat that's been thrown around.
They do have a good opportunity here. It's IHSEN in the goal to play defense, not only effective on the offensive side of the ball, getting some good work in the goalie's position as well. Just once more, Tippecanoe Valley in a much more concerted effort than in the previous round. They are definitely having a lot more time of possession, but they have to convert it to some of these goals. It's been a lot on the Brebeuf side of the pitch, but they haven't managed to get it in just quite yet.
Yeah, if you are Tippecanoe Valley, you've got to feel so much better about how you're playing, the way that you're playing, and the possessions that you're able to have right now. All they got to do is get one, and I feel like we can turn this around. Come on, Tippecanoe. I believe in you.
We are inches away, it feels like, from a goal for Tippecanoe Valley, but just as soon as you think that the tides might have been shifting, it's going to be Quack, who was quiet in round one, but already finding another goal here in Brebeuf's second goal of the game, second goal of the round as well.
Second unanswered goal, by the way,
for Tippecanoe Valley, and already a demo off the bat.
Yeah, they're making stuff blow up, and we like things that go boom in the night.
We do.
We've got, look, almost 2 minutes to play. Quack has gone back-to-back goals right now. Jaden and Reaper Baby have not been in there, and then Quack now getting their hat trick.
And finishing things off very effectively here. Look at that touch. The goalie was there for Tippecanoe Valley, but just an inch, just a second, Summit, behind where they would have needed to be if they wanted to prevent that goal from going down. So despite the fact that Tippecanoe Valley seemed to have staunched the bleeding early on, they still have to contend with all of the insurmountable... I don't know why I keep trying to say that, man. But Brebeuf are looking good. That's easy,
yes.
And it's even easier when they're scoring these goals.
And now Reaper Baby getting a part of the action, throwing down that Sith and making it death by goal right now. It is 4-0, still unanswered. That is, I believe, 18 goals unanswered by Tippecanoe Valley, and that is not the momentum that you want to see coming out of their side.
Have had a couple of decent shots on goal from Tippecanoe Valley, but it's been touches like this from IHSEN and the rest of Brebeuf that are really separating them from the competition right now. Every single time we get one of these long-range passes, it seems like Brebeuf in the yellow cars are in the perfect position to get that just tiny little redirect. You get right into the goal, and just a second or two behind seems to be Tippecanoe Valley every time, because they're now down 5-0 in this one. Not impossible, Summit, to come back from, but definitely not easy.
Yeah, it's not an insurmountable task. It's not impossible, but it is going to take all of your effort, and it's going to take teamwork to make that dream work. Right now, the one thing I'm noticing from IHSEN is they know where the ball is going to end up being, and that foresight, that being able to be there. Oh, hold on, there we go. And newcomer scores a goal, and that is Tippecanoe Valley up on the board. 1 goal, and great job.
And shout-outs to the boy in green, finally putting up a score on the board for Tippecanoe Valley, and that could be the shift in momentum that they were looking for. Seemed like every time they were just an inch shy, and they finally made that calibration. We'll see if that is a parting fancy, if they're capable of using this last minute to get a little bit more momentum. Even if you don't score enough to take the round, you'd love to get some momentum behind you and feel good going into this next one. But hang on a second, Reaper Baby and the rest of Brebeuf, everybody piling into the goal there and answering back in short order.
Yeah, well, Reaper Baby and the rest of Brebeuf said, no, slow down, ka-chow, we got this. So you would like to see Tippecanoe Valley go out on a high end right now with a couple goals to start that momentum working in the right direction for the next match, because it's going to be do or die time in this final match, because they do not have enough time to get 5 goals. I mean, you could try, and we got a demo there, and we got a little boom goes the dynamite on the floor, and we love to see it.
Long-range shot there, didn't quite manage to convert that into a successful goal, but definitely pushing the ball onto the Brebeuf side of the pitch. Tippecanoe Valley now with possession, or at least for the time being. Quack is going to carry that one with him, prevent it from going in his direction any longer. A good pass there from Jahan will at least clear it. It doesn't look like Summit any more fireworks are coming, at least from Tippecanoe Valley in this one. So they managed to strike back. They put up some points on the board, but with the buzzer beater, 7-1 is going to be your final score for game number 2.
I love that one goal by Ant. He might be a newcomer, but he might be new to me, but he shouldn't be new to you if you're from Tippecanoe. Ooh, that rhymes. So sweet. Because he's got that one goal there. They finally were able to answer a goal, and that was all she wrote for game number 2. 7-1, and the Buff boys over there at Brebeuf have now taken 2 games, and this could be match point right here.
Very well could. If Tippecanoe Valley can't manage to mount some kind of defense, they had the answers, at least a little bit earlier on, but the adaptations there from Jahan and the rest of Brebeuf really demonstrated what makes this team so effective, what has given them so much success. Nothing that Tippecanoe Valley was doing lasted long in terms of effectiveness. They would get a minute or so out of defense, they'd get a couple extra shots on goal, but it seemed like every single time Brebeuf were ready and waiting with an answer to each one of the opportunities that Tippecanoe Valley was trying to generate.
Well, Tippecanoe did best them on saves once again. And talking about saves, you know what makes this great thing that we call Rocket League work? Well, it's a big save from Landfest. They come in here and make it awesome every single time. They've got an excellent community with over 23 chapters, seeing over 18 states with 150 events a year. If you want to be part of the action and get in on Landfest, visit landfest.com.
You might see even more of this team going forward if you continue to stick with us for the Rocket League, because it doesn't look like Brebeuf are going to be going anywhere anytime soon, except for running up these points as they go ahead, kick things off in the first 10 seconds once more with another goal here in game number 3. They are looking like they might just be unstoppable at this point, Summit.
Yeah, it's a very dominant fashion that they have, and they're making sure to get goals early on and keeping that momentum in their favor. They're just not letting Tippecanoe Valley get into the mix here. Everything that Tippecanoe has been doing, they've been playing good defense, but they have not been able to answer on the offensive side of the equation.
Another demo here. There's been so many demos for Tippecanoe Valley onto Brebeuf, but it's been even more goals from Brebeuf onto Tippecanoe Valley as Jahan and the rest of the Brebeuf team. It's going to be Reaper that gets credit with that one as the final touch into the goal, but it's always a team effort to get that one started. We got 4:20 left on the clock, Summit, and 4 minutes and 20 seconds are going to be all that Tippecanoe Valley have to score at least 2 more points.
Yeah, they're going to need to get in this. Like we keep mentioning, their defense has been there, but the offensive side of the ball for the Brebeuf guys, they're just unrelenting. They just don't stop. They never quit. Quit is not in their DNA, and they're just not letting Tippecanoe get anything started. That's part of the problem. It's not so much what Tippecanoe is doing, more along the lines of what Brebeuf has been able to do.
Brebeuf right now keeping the ball on the Tippecanoe Valley side of the pitch, and oh, an unfortunate touch there from Tippecanoe Valley, going to tip the scales and barely send that one into their own goal. A great cross there from Jahan. He just couldn't get out of the way in time. Might have even made it within the uprights anyway, but tried to get there, could not kick it out in time. So it's going to be a third goal here from Brebeuf with 3:35 left in regulation.
Yeah, they're not scoring as much as they were before, but still scoring more than Tippecanoe. And that one's going to find a home. Reaper, baby, getting it done, able to grab their own rebound. That is some gameplay right there, folks.
There's some finesse for you. You can see gets that rebound off the upright and manages to tip that one into the goal once more. It has been a team effort in the scoring. Jahan definitely the standout from Brebeuf when it comes to those of them who have been managing to get those final touches. But each person on Brebeuf has had their time in the sun. It's really on Tippecanoe Valley to find their way out of the shade, find their way into the embrace of that goal a couple more times. They've gotten one, and it's going to be Reaper Baby putting one more on the board for Brebeuf. Just even more work ahead of the green squad.
Yeah, if you were going to pick an MVP from Brebeuf right now, you would have to pick IHSEN. They've been dominant, obviously, on the offensive side of the ball, but also being able to step back, step into the goal, and play goalie, getting it done like Alexi Lawless. I mean, that's another goal right there, kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it just seems to come out of nowhere here from Brebeuf. They're just always right place, right time. You can see him taking that beautiful pass there and just doing what he does best with it. Ka-chow indeed, as he pushes that one back into the goal. And Ant Newcomer, Tippecanoe Valley, they have got a lot of work ahead of them, Summit. What do they need to do differently here to be able to claw their way back in the twilight stages of this one?
Well, they need to have some set plays and then be able to execute them on the offensive side. That's absolutely what we're seeing from Brebeuf. They're not just where they're supposed to be because that's where the ball is. They're where they're supposed to be because that's what they've practiced. You can see it, you can feel it. There is electricity in the air on their side of the ball, and you can cut it with a knife. It is palpable, and they are Here we go.
XD Scooter snatches that one out of the clutches of IHSEN. It was a long-range carry all the way across the pitch, and Tippecanoe Valley finally managed to strike here in game number 3. A beautiful effort from the boys in green to put one up on the board and begin to claw away at this lead from Brebeuf.
And if they can keep it up, there is still enough time to score and tie this, get it to extra. But they have to stop the onslaught. That is Brebeuf right now. It's just an offensive onslaught. Will they be there to stop this one? Yes, they will. There we go. That's what they've been doing all day. Another great save. But the saves haven't been enough because they can't get it out of their zone long enough.
And IHSEN once more seems to be right place, right time, every time. And it's a nice little tap there. Doesn't have to do a whole lot. Just carries that one in and follows the ball all the way into the goal for goal number 7 for Brebeuf. 2 minutes 8 on the clock. 6 goals in the deficit for Tippecanoe Valley. And once again, Summit, it just seems like they have these flashes of brilliance and then immediately there's an answer from Brebeuf.
Yeah, they just haven't been able to get anything going for too long because IHSEN hasn't allowed them, and the rest of the team get it done. There's another one. Call it 8, kids. It's 8-1. That's another goal from the Brebeuf boys.
And another hat trick here for IHSEN. They got one in round number 1. I want to say they had one in round number 2 as well. I do think I am unfortunately wrong on that as I look back at the score, but they definitely earned the hat trick here in game number 3, arguably when it matters the most. Tippecanoe Valley need a couple hat tricks of their own if they're going to be catching up.
I think there should be an animation. When you get a hat trick, there should be hats that fall from the sky on this. I mean, come on, Rocket League.
Down.
You know, that's not a terrible idea. Let's get that into fruition, Rocket League. I'd love to see that.
Or turn the ball into a hat and then start to kick that around. Now we're cooking. And Brebeuf continue to cook in this one. Have a good carry into the center, cleared out to that left-hand side. Pass across the middle. Quack has it. Quack can't quite finish it. And Tippecanoe Valley barely managed to keep it out.
Yeah, barely managed to keep it out, but it was a good save. Quack couldn't get it done, but IHSEN keeping it in. Look, they just can't get the ball out of their zone, and with 1 minute remaining, I can warm up my pipes because just like Angela Lansbury, this is murder, she wrote.
And it feels like it could be something of that same intensity. 9-1. This isn't your everyday average win. This is a dominant performance from a dominant team. We knew coming into this one, 8-0 was going to be the score to beat for Brebeuf, and it seems like we need at least that many goals just to take a round off of them.
Yeah, here's the deal. Tippecanoe Valley came in there, and we said they had their work cut out for them, and they definitely did. They did some really good things. When they go back and watch this, I know it probably feels like an insurmountable task that they had in front of them, especially right now as we get to the nitty-grit of this third game, and we're about to call it quits. But when they look back on the tape, they're going to see some things that they did well and some things that they can improve upon. Look, I would venture to say that every single team this year that has gone up against Brebeuf has pretty much felt the same way. They are a dominant force in Rocket League in this league, and for right now, they must be the team to beat.
Cavender and the rest of the boys can do nothing but watch as the timer ticks down. 5 seconds left in regulation, and what else could we do to end this one out than one final goal perhaps from Jahan and the rest of Brebeuf, putting us in a nice clean double-digit 10 here with 2 seconds left on the clock. 9 goals in the lead. That's gonna do it for us in this one.
Yeah, the MVP of the day, Jahan. You just couldn't stop him. I mean, he is the Beyonce of Rocket League today.
Well, high praise there for Jahan, and high praise is certainly due for Brebeuf. Time expires there, but I do think that would have been even one more goal.
Yeah, it looked like it was about to be. It really did. Look, they got. You got to give Tippecanoe credit there. 6 saves to Brebeuf's 0. But when you have, when you've got 15 shots to 3, I mean. 6 saves is normally that's huge, baby, huge. But 15 shots, and I would gander to say that they probably averaged somewhere between 13 and 15 shots every single time around. Look at that, 13-0, 7-1, and 10-1. Man, that's what you call getting it done.
That's what you call getting it done, and it has certainly been done here by Brebeuf. They came in 8-0. They will walk out maintaining that same undefeated reputation. So they advance to 9-0 and put Tippecanoe Valley a little bit closer to 500 as they fall to 5-4. Still certainly a respectable season for them, and still a lot more Rocket League left to be played, but gives them a glimpse of what's waiting for them at the top if they can make it there one more time. And I think that they've got their work cut out for them if they end up having to come up against Brebeuf one more time.
Well, just imagine if you're another team sitting at home watching that. You've got to be scared. You got to be shaking in your boots. You got to be. I mean, Brebeuf is in control. So check it to wreck it. Let's begin, because they came to battle, and battle them, that's a sin. They are in control right now of this league, and it seems as though that teamwork that we talked about. Man, just because we kept saying that Jahan seemed to be everywhere he was supposed to be, I call that in the cards. That's part of the game plan. I think that they were able to go out here and execute their game plan as a team, and that teamwork making the dream work all the way to the finish line. They got the goals. They got the shots. With Tippecanoe playing some great defense, it wasn't enough to get there.
And I do think you are calling it correctly, Summit. I mean, you don't find yourself just lucking into that opportunity time and time again like Jahan did. They say that luck is when opportunity meets preparation. And you could definitely tell that there was a lot of intersection going down in that one for Brebeuf and the rest of them. But, Summit, there is so much more esports left to be played at the collegiate level, and if you at home would like to get involved in that, you can get involved as well. There is now a way to search through hundreds of collegiate esports programs to see where they're at, see what games they play, and even what majors are offered as well. You can go ahead and go on over to portal.leagueos.gg. That is portal.leagueos.gg. And you can search, and IEN students can even sign in to manage their own prospect profiles, and all of their stats automatically update match over match. So every single one of those goals that Jahan just scored going immediately onto the scorecard, making sure that everybody is well aware of the outstanding performance they had. And there's even scholarships out there for not only the players, but people like us, Summit, people like us who are shoutcasters or social media managers, and much more. So make sure you add all of your talents to your profile when you sign up. And verified college esports coaches are searching that LOS portal right at this very second for promising prospects and reaching out to the ones that they like. And this LOS portal, Summit, is free for students. So make sure that you don't miss your chance to get discovered, and visit portal.leagueos.gg today and take your game to the next level. And maybe you could be one of these outstanding performers like Jahan and the rest of Brebeuf.
Yeah, remember, kids, esports is just sports. Any job that you can find, if you're watching a regular old sporting event with your parents on TV, hey, at the end of the day, find a title that you'd like to have, and you can make that happen for yourself. At some point, sports and esports, they're going to meet. And esports will be on the other side because of YOU. So make sure you put yourself into a winning position for the rest of your life and get involved in LOS Portal.
And that is, I believe, going to do it for us, Summit. It was a quick one, but it was definitely an exciting one with all of those goals going down from Brebeuf. Shoutouts to them and shoutouts to Tippecanoe for giving us a very strong performance demonstrating what a good middle-of-the-road team is going to look like and how they can continue to move forward in this one. But that will be it for us, for myself, for Summit, for LANFest, and for the Indiana Esports Network. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we've got more games coming up for you a little bit later on next week. We've got more Rocket League, we've got Overwatch, we've got SSBU as well. So keep your eyes peeled, keep an eye open on this Twitch channel. We'll bring you some more action, but at least for now, that's going to do it for us. I have been Kaiser, that has been Summit. Take it easy. We'll see you in the next one.